Today, the happiest thing we talk about this week is a press release. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. Only 65% of players have unlocked this achievement.
But we just started.
Yeah, it turns out people just buy games and don't play past the prologue.
No, I mean for us.
It's the same for YouTube videos, I'm afraid. Last week, shares in several major game developers fell after Google unveiled its new general-purpose world model, Genie 3, named for the supernatural beings who punish thoughtless greed with malicious compliance. Genie promises to take user prompts to generate interactive, photorealistic, and persistent worlds that you can, walk around in, which seems useful if you ever need to imagine how a dog must experience a video game. Unity CEO Matthew Bromberg responded to the 38% drop in his company's share price with a post on X, the Everything app, pointing out that generative world models are probabilistic and non-deterministic, making them unsuitable on their own for games that require consistent, repeatable player experiences. What? Huh? What's this? A gaming CEO from Unity, of all places, standing up for the integrity of his art form with a reasoned argument, striking at the heart of generative AI models? Don't worry, he immediately abandons it. Bromberg goes on to say, rather than viewing this as a risk, we see it as a powerful accelerator. Video-based generation is exactly the type of input our agentic AI workflows are designed to leverage, translating rich visual output into initial game scenes that can then be refined with the deterministic systems Unity developers use today. So the argument is seriously that your AI will somehow scrape already stolen assets from their model and then devs will be required to make it work? Yeah, of course that's your argument. He's a CEO, and I get that part of his job is to keep people from pulling all their money out of his company. That thing you're afraid of? Not a problem. That thing you like? We have that. Are those things mutually exclusive? Not if you invest enough money. But does your solution sound like a lot of labor? Don't worry, we'll cut the labor. The problem is that a lot of the time, those people will believe you. Another problem is you might start to believe it yourself. In a threaded reply, Bromberg says that the use case for a world model is prototyping, getting a vibe for the world and the kind of interactivity and see how it feels. If nothing else, this is wildly disrespectful to the discipline of prototyping. Prototyping might involve vibes, but it sure as shit involves a logically consistent, reproducible model. A prototype can only be built once you've identified, parameterized, and solved problems requiring the synthesis of prior work. Genie's output isn't a prototype. It's a notion, aka bullshit. And mistaking it for one is a category error that reveals a profound contempt for the process he has been entrusted to oversee. Eat enough slop and you forget how to chew.
Pre-orders for Pokemon Pokopia started last weekend, and one retailer was excited to share the good news about their pre-order bonus. While they aren't yet the retailer, as in the only choice consumers have whenever they want to buy anything, they are the retailer in this story, and they would like to one day soon also be the retailer with a capital T. Yes, you're thinking of the right company. That one. The retailer excitedly took to Twitter on Saturday to announce that if you pre-order Pokopia from them, you'll receive an in-game flat leaf plant. You know, the well-known Pokemon world flat leaf plant. It's just like all those Pokemons that are leaves. Okay, maybe this is the first reference to a flat leaf plant in the Pokemon universe, but at least it's an adorable and exciting addition to your in-game home. It definitely radiates cozy ambiance, and doesn't it all scream IKEA catalog? And the fans are loving it. Just loving it. Absolutely. Head over heels to march their phones right into the retailer's app and skip into the checkout page to pre-order this plant. Look, pre-order bonuses are often disappointing. The whole idea needs to walk this weird line of being exciting enough to entice sales and not exclusive enough to cause bad feels among the majority of players that won't get the bonus. This potted plant leaves heavily enough in the no bad feels direction that instead of exclamation points in the advertisement tweet, the retailer probably would have been better served to hire Werner Herzog as the plant's frontman. Buy the new Pokemon clone of Dragon Quest Builders from us, loyal consumer. Act now, and you will receive a plant. It has leaves. They are flat, just like the tone of my voice. Eventually, we will all be as flat as the leaves of this plant, our lifeless bodies decomposing in the earth, fueling the plant's inexorable growth with the same atoms that once held our heads above the ground. Also, this is clearly a snake plant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're talking about him. Look, in retrospect, I honestly miss the days where we'd get a whole episode out of whatever batshit promises Peter Molyneux was making, but inexplicably, there are multiple video game-related stories in the latest batch of Epstein Files, and you might have already seen jokes and memes around them, so we figured it might be good to at least explain the stories properly. First, yes, Jeffrey Epstein was hilariously banned from Xbox Live. Specifically, he was permabanned for harassment, threats, and/or abuse of other players. And this conduct has been determined to be severe, repeated, and/or excessive. I know what you're thinking. Hey, this guy sucks! But really, this just sounds like any Call of Duty lobby. And speaking of Call of Duty, no, Epstein is not responsible for microtransactions in video games. I'm sure you can find it within yourself to vilify him for any number of other things. People are making a lot of hay out of an email exchange between Epstein, so-called futurist Pablo Holman, and Activision CEO Bobby Kotick. Yeah, this slimy fucker's back. In emails sent months after the first Call of Duty to feature microtransactions, Epstein is acting as a go-between for the other two, pitching Kotick on Holman's idea for indoctrination in the gaming space. And Kotick says Holman's idea is good, but that the key is real-world rewards. And Holman notes to Epstein that it's very funny that one of Kotick's examples for a real-world reward is virtual items in video games. Epstein doesn't seem to actually have an opinion either way. It's Holman that says, I'm all for indoctrinating kids into an economy. Bobby Kotick, however, appears in dozens of email exchanges with Epstein, including where Epstein says, quote, "The girls and I are going to see Elon Musk at SpaceX tomorrow. Are you around?" To which Kotick replies, "Oh, I'm busy, but would you like to use my private jet? Which is more than a little suspicious, Bobby." For context, these Kotick emails are all from 2012 and 2013, and Epstein had been a convicted and registered sex offender since 2008. Who gives a shit about microtransactions? And finally, you might have heard that Freddy Fazbear is in the Epstein Files. Now, for one thing, that joke is sort of minimizing what it means for someone to be in the files, but also it's not nearly as funny as the truth, which is that what is in the files is emails where Epstein seems really into sexualized animations of characters from Five Nights at Freddy's who... It's 3D futa porn. It's the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's, but they've all got dicks and they're boning Ada Wong from Resident Evil. We only know this because he emailed 4chan links directly to his girlfriend with the subject line, "Amazing Animations." Having said that, and for the benefit of the public interest, I checked the archives, and that thread did initially ask for Five Nights at Freddy's content, but there's a lot of Mass Effect and 2B and a lot of Overwatch. It's mostly Overwatch. In fact, we know from the attachment text of the email that he sent, he was specifically sharing a GIF of Mercy from Overwatch. The point being, Freddy Fazbear is safe. Not because he's a fictional animatronic bear, but because nobody in these files seems to be suffering consequences. Yet?
Last week, Nintendo featured a direct for Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, for both Switches in my household. And I'm interrupting this press release to give you all a warning. Gentlemen, we are in trouble. And I don't mean because Tomodachi Life is a quirky life simulator in the style of The Sims, because frankly, that's awesome. We all got a lot of mileage out of the 3DS version, singing whatever lyrics we typed into it. And I mean, whatever lyrics. No, fellas, we are fucking cooked, and it's all because of Hugh. Hugh Morris is the man of all time, and I know this is true because I watched the direct after my wife bid me watch it with her, and I have experienced his power firsthand. Just look at him. Yeah, some Fujoshi at Nintendo may have designed it from scratch, but it's clear that he's always been there. Where Hugh isn't, however, is in the Japanese Direct. He's only in the North American version. Hugh Morris is women telling us what they want. They love a man who finally feels a bit more like himself. And women have been telling us this for years. We all think they want guys like Patrick with his fresh hair and smug smile. But what they really want is a guy with a sense of humor. They want Hugh Morris. Hugh Morris. It's literally his fucking name. This man moved to an island, dressed in his best silk jammies, and rizzed the fuck out of 3 women just by being kind, goofy, and trying his best. Good on you, Hugh.
Of all the stories we've reported on this week about specific men, I'm glad for Hugh Morris.
What a guy. Coming up, Overwatch 2 is dropping the 2 and will just be Overwatch again. Also, they will be releasing 10 new characters this year, which is clearly an effort to induce mass carpal tunnel in Rule 34 artists. Amazing animations. What would we want to even talk about more at this point?
I don't know. What a weird,
Fuck these people.
What a weird week. What a weird week. I mean, I find it very funny because I did find the archive on, you can go to the, I mean, don't, but you can go to the 4chan archives, and I find it very funny that the archives are like live. I assumed it'd be like read only, but there are people posting in that same thread being like, you know, who here in 2026, yo, this was in the files, and they're like tracking down exactly what GIF was shared and everything.
It's fair.
And I think it's because, and more power to them, frankly. I think it's because they're like, ooh, I can affect something.
Yeah.
I can have some sort of effect in some way.
Yeah.
I may not be able to do anything like legally binding or anything, that like actually has any like real effect.
Yeah.
But I can find out exactly which GIF of Mercy being.
Yeah. Hey, which one did I jerk off to that also Epstein probably jerked off to? He and I are the same. Wait. It's so. I'm just actually, when you said that the archives are live, as in you can continue to post as replies to them, I was just like,
I was shocked.
That's terrifying to me. The idea that it's not like that maybe that's the way the system even works. Is it's like you can make a copy of it and say these are the archives. We don't think about them anymore, but it's like it's all in the same system anyway. Who knows? But that means that now people can go to the archives and just have their own conversations there and not have it be like 4chan proper. Proper is a very word that you wouldn't use with 4chan.
No, do not. I did watch one of the videos that someone posted of the, this is a different story now, of Genie, the thing. Someone was like, The Verge, who I normally like very much, basically they did an article that was like essentially a sort of fluff piece of like, look at all the dumb stuff I can do in Genie. And all the comments were like, yeah, but why?
Yeah.
Why did you write this article at all? Right.
Yeah.
But it was basically like, oh yeah, we've done some things, like we generated some things that certainly look inspired by Nintendo games. And it's like, no, one of them is literally just Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Except it's also like bad. Like these are not, like if you want to understand what it would be like to run around in Breath of the Wild, we have that.
Yeah. Twice.
You don't need to ask the AI to be like, mock me up a Breath of the Wild. Interesting. All right, developers.
Yeah.
Make this.
You can literally go download Genshin Impact for free.
You probably. We played Genshin Impact once on stream.
Oh, yeah.
Around launch. I think mostly just as like a goof. This was during lockdown too, so we were like, sure, why not? We'll try whatever.
Yeah.
I really should unsubscribe, but occasionally they do. Like once every 6 months or something, they email me and they're like, hey, you could get 10 epic pulls if you come back.
Wow.
And I'm like, no.
Holy crap.
Or whatever they're called. I truly don't know. But yeah, that's a whole genre now.
Yeah. I'm glad that. So when I watched the Tomodachi Life Direct,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Hugh's not in the Japanese one?
No,
Is there a different guy?
he's not even in the UK one. Okay, in the UK one, they have a clown named Bubbles.
Okay.
Like a green fright wig and everything else, and like white.
Okay, but he's still a clown.
He's still a clown. But it's like white ass.
Nintendo wasn't like, should we do anything for the North American one that's special? Send them a fucking clown.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's so weird because like the he's like a grease paint and giant lip kind of looking clown thing, and in the UK version, I'm like, that's odd because the more sedate kind of Harlequin-ish clown. Like I don't know how you quantify that with like the triangles and stuff. And I'm like, that's not a North American aesthetic. I don't think that's
more like Italian. That's like a commedia dell'arte kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, and so you use that for whatever. I don't know why. And in Japan, it doesn't seem to have any at all. It's just like Angie's trying to, or whoever the Angie stand-in is trying to get these two old people to like each other. Just two old people talking about youth.
I assume there'd be like a weird kappa or something.
Yeah, you know, like ultimately in the US Direct, you can also like make other creatures. So you can make like I mean they're all bipedal creatures, right? But they made Mocha, who is like Angie's childhood teddy bear.
Is Angie the player?
Angie's the player in this case, right?
Okay.
But yeah, the game is like. Anyway, they made Mocha, and then Mocha and her talk, and they're like, we should move in together. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but not like in a weird, like, humpy way. That's just like, we should move in together, and we should talk about the time we first met, and that'll be fun. It was very sweet. The Hugh Morris thing, I think, like, it just was like, who is this weird man that shows up? And you kind of expect that it's going to be that, oh, she falls in love with a guy who she runs into on a crosswalk. And I'm like, even that is that's the whole toast in your mouth, running into a boy that's cute moment. I'm like, all this stuff being inspired by, you know, Japanese anime and manga, the feel of that, and yet you chose in the Japanese version just be like, I'm trying to get these two old people together. I'm like, I don't.
Penelope was watching the trailer, and I came in partway through the bit when they're up in the Ferris wheel, and they're like, I love Hugh Morris. No, I love Hugh Morris, or whatever. And I was like, is this just like, this is a pre-rendered trailer, obviously. Is Hugh Morris meant to be the player character? And she's like, no, that's Hugh Morris. And I'm like, why? No one else here is a clown. Why is that guy a clown?
Yeah, because that's how you made them, because you get to make all these people. So.
I don't know if I'm going to play Tomodachi Life, but as before, I look forward to the posts.
Yes. Oh, me too. Yeah. This is going to be a supreme shitposting game for several months.
It's going to be great for content.
I can't wait.
It's all we can hope for these days. Speaking of content, you can support ours at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. You can also support our things that aren't content, you know, like entertainment or art or things like that too. Or you can become a member on this YouTube channel, and the member shoutouts will be here at the end of the video. Trying to think of what else there is to talk about. Big Magic stream coming up. Highlander Finals. That's on February 15th.
Right.
Sunday. That'll be an all-day stream of some powerful Magic. The Big Mid Quiz, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, that's up on the main YouTube channel. And
if you live in Eastern Canada and you have nothing to do, you can
go to
this weekend.
Yeah, you can go to Spotlight Series Toronto. 5 of us are out there for Magic the Gathering stuff if you aren't already going. If you aren't already going and you want to buy a ticket, use the code LRR or Loading Ready Run to tell them that you're going because we told you.
Yeah.
Because that's cool. Also, there's new crap shots going up, all sorts of stuff on the various YouTube channels. Go check out the breadth of our wares. Okay, bye, everybody.
This is clearly a snake plant.